Rain poured heavily over the city, the kind of rain that makes everything look blurred, buildings, headlights, even faces. A young mother stood outside a bakery, clutching a few coins in her trembling hand, her little boy tugging at her coat. Narrator, softly, with emotion. She didn't know that today, the man standing behind her in line would change her entire life. That the few coins she held would become the key to a future she never dared to dream of. Camera pans to a tall man in a dark suit, his expression unreadable, yet his eyes follow her as she gently counts her coins again. Narrator. When love, kindness, and fate collide, miracles don't ask for permission, they just happen. Fade to black. Title appears. Single mom spent her last coins on bread, the CEO said, get more. I'll pay for everything. Cloud with Rain Chapter 1, The Last Coins. Amira wiped the fog off the bakery window with her sleeve. Inside, the smell of fresh bread filled the air, warm, comforting, and painfully out of reach. Her stomach growled softly, but it was her little boy, Donnie, who whispered, Mama, can we get the round one this time? The soft one. Her heart clenched. She looked at the few coins in her palm, barely enough for the smallest loaf. She smiled weakly. We'll see, baby. Amira wasn't always like this. 2 years ago, she had a husband, a home, and dreams of opening her own small cafe. But after her husband's sudden death in a construction accident, the world turned gray. Bills piled up. Jobs were scarce. And she found herself fighting just to keep her son fed. She stepped inside the bakery, her wet shoes squeaking on the floor. The warmth hit her instantly, but so did the shame. People with umbrellas and expensive coats surrounded her. She stood in line, holding Danny's hand tightly, her heart pounding with embarrassment. When her turn came, she placed the coins on the counter. One small loaf of bread, please. The cashier frowned. That's only enough for half a loaf, ma'am. Amira froze. Her cheeks burned. Behind her, a man cleared his throat, the sound deep, commanding. She didn't turn. She couldn't. The cashier started to move the loaf away when a hand placed a sleek black card on the counter. I'll pay for everything she needs, a calm, firm voice said. Amira turned around, slowly, and met the stranger's eyes. He was tall, maybe mid-30s, in a sharp gray suit. His hair was neatly combed, but his eyes were soft, concerned. Sir, that's not necessary, she began. It is, he interrupted gently. Get more. Bread, milk, anything your boy wants. I'll pay for everything. Danny's eyes widened. Mama, can we really? Amira's lip quivered. I can't accept this. You don't even know us. The man smiled faintly. Maybe I don't, but I know what it looks like to be hungry. Something in his tone made her pause. It wasn't pity. It was memory. The cashier packed extra loaves, a bottle of milk, even some cookies. Amira tried to stop her, but the man just nodded, his gaze steady. When she turned to thank him, he was already walking out, umbrella in hand. She ran after him into the rain. Wait, please, tell me your name. He stopped, rain sliding off his dark coat. Ethan Hale. The name echoed faintly in her mind. She didn't know it yet, but that name belonged to one of the most powerful CEOs in the city, the owner of Hale Enterprises. He looked at her one last time and said, "Get back on your feet, Ms. Amira," she whispered. Then, "Amira, maybe one day, you'll pay it forward." And just like that, he disappeared into the rain. Amira stood there for a long time, clutching the warm bag of food to her chest, tears mixing with the rain. Narrator. She thought it was just a kind stranger. She didn't know that fate had just given her a second chance. Sun behind small cloud Chapter 2, a door opens. Days turned into weeks. Amira found work cleaning at a nearby cafe. It wasn't glamorous, but it was something. She worked tirelessly, washing dishes, sweeping floors, always smiling when Donnie came to visit after school. One morning, a man in a business suit came to the cafe with a group of executives. The cafe owner whispered excitedly, "That's Ethan Hale, the CEO of Hale Enterprises. They're here for catering contracts." Amira froze. Her heart pounded, the name, the voice, the face. It was him. Ethan looked around the cafe, his eyes scanning the room, until they landed on her. Recognition flickered instantly. He smiled slightly. "You." Amira quickly lowered her gaze, embarrassed. Mr. Hale, thank you for that day. You probably don't remember. Oh, I remember, he said gently. You had courage in your eyes, even when life wasn't kind to you. The cafe owner, noticing Ethan's interest, spoke up. Amira here makes the best pastries. She's got a natural talent. Ethan turned back to her. Is that true? Amira hesitated. I used to bake, before everything changed. Then bake again, he said, as if it were that simple. Hale Enterprises is opening a new staff cafe. I need someone with passion, not just skill. Come tomorrow. Show me what you can do. Her hands trembled. Are you serious? He smiled. You bought bread that day with your last coins. I think you've earned a chance to make more than crumbs. The next day, Amira spent the night practicing, using every bit of savings for ingredients. She arrived early at Hale Enterprises, nervous but determined. She baked cinnamon rolls, soft and golden, filling the kitchen with warmth. When Ethan tasted one, he closed his eyes and said softly, "This tastes like home." A few weeks later, she was officially hired, head baker for the new Hale Cafe. With a stable income, she moved Donnie into a small but cozy apartment. For the first time in years, they laughed without fear of tomorrow. One evening, Ethan visited the cafe again. You've built something beautiful here, he said. Amira smiled. I just followed your advice. I got back on my feet. He nodded, then quietly placed a small envelope on the counter. A loan, 0 interest. Open your own bakery when you're ready. Consider it repayment for the bread I bought. Tears filled her eyes. You already did more than enough. Then call it an investment, he said softly. In you. Sunrise Epilogue, The Bakery of Hope. 2 years later, a new bakery stood at the corner of Main Street. Its sign read, Danny's Delights, where every loaf has a story. Amira's shop was always full, not just of customers, but of kindness. She often helped struggling mothers, offering free bread to those in need. One day, as she handed a loaf to a young woman counting her coins, she said gently, "Don't worry. Get more. I'll pay for everything." Outside, a familiar car stopped briefly. Ethan Hale watched from a distance, smiling quietly, before driving away. Narrator closing line, softly. Sometimes, the smallest act of kindness can rewrite an entire life. And sometimes, the bread you give today becomes someone else's miracle tomorrow. Fade out. Music swells. Screen fades to black.